What's going on? One more time, Have That Hope community. How you guys are doing? Once again, this is Leith Longino bringing you that hope to give you those life hacks on a day-to-day basis to get through stress, to get through anger, to get through depression in these troubling times we have. You know, gas prices going up, energy prices are going up. And people aren't getting paid much, but we got to learn and have ways on having and keeping that hope. So today I want to talk to you guys about things we do on a day-to-day basis, right? I've talked to you guys before about practicing confidence, right? Which is a day-to-day thing. Confidence isn't what you are, it's what you practice on a day-to-day basis, right? To build confidence, to gain confidence, right? But today, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about practicing gratitude. That's right, practicing gratitude, being grateful on a day-to-day basis, guys. We're going to talk about what it is. We're going to talk about what it can do for you. We're going to talk about how it can change your life, all right? Definitely. Okay, so gratefulness. I'm going to talk about gratefulness, guys, and I'm going to add a little faith in there, okay? Gratefulness is what you give for the things you have, right? You're grateful. You give gratefulness for the things that you have. Your house, your family, where you are in your life, the blessings that's been given to you, the people in your life, things of that nature. We're grateful for the things that we have, right? That we currently have, right? Which can be difficult because from time to time, well, 90% of the time, our minds will focus on what we don't have, what we're lacking, right? Our mind will constantly always tell us where our shortfalls are, okay? But with gratefulness, we're focusing on what we do have. And in focusing on what we do have, it can create something within us, right? When we focus on what we have and we focus on being glad that we have it and being appreciative that we have it, guys, what does that create for us? It creates a mindset. It creates a mindset of appreciation versus expectation, okay? Appreciation is you're appreciative for whatever comes to you. Expectation means is that you're expecting an outcome, right? And when we expect an outcome, if we don't get what we want, what happens? We get ungratefulness. We get anxiety. We get depression. We get anger because we're expecting something to happen in our lives or with us. So what is faith, guys? Faith is what you give for the things you wish to see, right? So gratefulness is what you give for the things that you have. Faith is what you give for the things that you wish for, right? Because you're wishing good hopes that it comes true, right? Faith, you must have faith in order to hope for things. Because if you don't have faith, then what's the use of even trying, right? What we have to understand, guys, is how do we practice gratefulness? How do we do that on a day-to-day basis? It's more than just thinking about what we have. It's more than just that. Like I said with confidence, gratefulness is a day-to-day intention on a positive mindset. Things like listening to positive affirmations, telling yourself positive affirmations, listening to motivational speeches, quotes, and having a daily intention of appreciation for what you have, right? What do we tend to do on a day-to-day basis, guys, when you get up? Think about how do you start your day? What do you do when you start your day, right? Most of us go to our phones, see what's going on social media, what's going on in the news. Some of us look to check our messages, check our emails, things of that nature. We start our day focusing on everything external. Most of us. We start our day focusing on the external, what's going on in the world, instead of starting inside, instead of starting internalized, right? We need to focus on ourselves first thing of the day, right? And by focusing on ourselves, we need to do something, anything that rises our spirits, that increases our our gratitude within us, right? By positive affirmations, listening to positive motivational speech. Some people like to listen to church music. Some people like to listen to sermons and things of that nature. Pastors, a lot of good ones are out there. I listen to a few of them. I won't try to throw any names out there and try to throw any type of publicity out there. But, you go with what best for you, with what works for you. I wouldn't recommend music because music is more of a drowning technique. It doesn't allow thought. It doesn't create thought in your mind. It creates positive vibes. Music can definitely create an energy in you, but we want to talk about what we generate in our thoughts from the start of the day. How do we generate positive thoughts? And the best way to generate those positive thoughts of gratitude is by positive affirmations, is by speech motivations that you listen to, is by listening to those sermons of hope and of positivity, and see what those things can do for your day, guys, how it can shape your day, by starting your day out with a dose of gratitude, right? That's one way how we practice gratefulness. Another thing, guys, we want to remember that gratefulness and things like stress, anger, and depression, they can't exist in the same time. They can't exist in the same mind at the same time. There you go. Right? If you're practicing gratefulness, you're pushing out negativity. You're pushing out anger, right? You're pushing out the feelings that our mind wants to lend us to those thoughts of not being enough, to those thoughts of how we may have messed up in the past, to those thoughts of how this day is going to suck or how I don't want to go to my job. You want to push those thoughts out, guys. And how do we push those thoughts out? With gratefulness. With practicing gratefulness on a day-to-day basis on what we have, what we currently possess, which will open up the gate, once again, guys, of that positive mindset, of that appreciation mindset over expectation, which is very good, very big, Also, guys, we have to understand gratefulness actually is the ultimate example of self-validation. It's the ultimate example because you're focusing on the things that you have. So you're giving yourself like a congratulations, you're giving yourself a pat on the back for the things that you have, the things that you've done in your life. You're self-validating yourself, which self-affirms you and gives you that positive feeling that you create within yourself that you won't need from the world, right? Because when you start to internally validate yourself, you no longer need the validation from the world, right? We no longer need someone to always tell us good job. We no longer need someone to always be there to pat us on the back, give us support, to where we expect support from other people. And then when we don't get that support, we're angry. We're feeling like, I always get the short end of the stick, right? So we have to learn to validate ourselves through gratefulness, through practicing gratefulness, right? So another thing I want to bring up, guys, that what gratefulness can do for you. You will understand, guys, that gratefulness will cause you to live out your imagination, not your history, right? So how can you have imagination from what you are appreciating that you have? How do you build imagination from what you have? simple. It's a foundation from what you have, which is a foundation of gratefulness. So if you have that foundation of appreciating what you have, it now, the universe frees or opens up the floodgates for you to receive more. Because when you are appreciative of what you have, you open the floodgates of the universe to give you more. See how that works? See how the universe works in place? When you start getting in line with things, life can be so simple, guys. We're the ones who make it complicated, right? So living out of your imagination is better than living out of your history, right? Because like what we said, what does gratefulness do? Gratefulness puts you in a current mindset. Gratefulness reminds you of the good things. Gratefulness self-validates you. So when you have these good thoughts of what you have, of what you got going on in your life, of what you've achieved, you're not thinking about those bad mistakes that you've made. You're not focused on those errors that you made in your life. You're not focused on how someone may have wronged you in your life, guys. So we got to realize that definitely we don't want to live in our history. We want to be in the present. And the best way to be in the present is to have that gratitude, guys, practicing gratefulness. I want to touch on one more thing with you guys, and then we're going to close out. Please believe. But always understand, guys, being grateful for what you have opens up the possibility for what you can get. Okay? So if you're one who wishes to gain more, your wish is to build in your life, then understand that the only way to build is off a foundation. And from that foundation of gratefulness, guys, it can open up and alleviate to endless possibility. I understand that, I believe that, and I want you to try to practice gratefulness in your life. Make a plan to make a decision every day to start your day off practicing gratitude, guys, and see what that can do for your life through affirmations, speech, motivational speeches, pastors, hymns, things of that nature, guys. Just try it. 5-10 minutes a day. Make that commitment to have that gratitude. Before you pick up that phone, before you look at that social media, before you check those messages, guys, take 5 minutes out to have some gratitude and see how it changes your life. So this is Leaf Longino, guys, once again, giving you those life hacks to have a positive life and having that hope. So I'm signing out for you guys. We'll be talking again. Love you guys.